Hello, my friends. So today's date is September the 21st. And this is a birthday reading for you for this year. Those people born on this date, September the 21st. This is a four-card pull, a general energy card for the year, a challenge you might face this year, an action you can take to stay in balance, and an outcome or synopsis card. So, what is the general energy card for the year for those born on this date, September the 21st? Well, it's the Forest. So this is a year, I think, well, the forest is beckoning to you. It's that, there's that sense of needing to get lost, that needing to be enchanted in the forest, that needing to spend a night scared for one's life, that needing to um, go into fairylands and hear the whispers and to hear the dark talk to you and to find what really makes you afraid and to face some of your biggest fears of survival, of loneliness, of listening to yourself, of following your intuition, of being in the dark when you can't see the path, when there's things that, grab at your legs and tree limbs and things. What fears does the magical forest bring up? But it's a time of needing to do that. It's a time of seeking the adventure of the forest. It's a time of feeling like you need to get away from the cement and the structures and the restrictions. It's a time to feel the wildness in your soul and to connect into the wild nature of your being. It's a time to explore yourself on a physical level, on an emotional level, on a psychic level, even on a heart level, that can teach you how to journey, how to respect yourself, how to be open to magic, how to face your fears and go through them. So this is a magical time, and it's calling you to break down some of your restrictions, some of your structures, get away from your studies, get away from your job, get away possibly even from your family or your social life and the church and the society and whatever else might be closing in around you on some level. And that's what I think you feel this year, is that things are closing in around you, whatever that is. And I don't mean that all those things need to be closing around you, but on some level, something is closing around you and saying, making you feel like you need to get away. You need to find your wild side again. You need to find your adventurous spirit again. You need to find your way into your own soul's forest and have a magical adventure. So what is the challenge in that? Well, it's the Son of Wands. And the Son of Wands is very willing, when it's in an upright position, to look like a fool, because they feel like their passion, their wands, their inspiration is something that calls to them, and they're willing to go it alone and go and find that passion. They're willing to look foolish in their sense of following their truth and following their hearts and following your inspiration. So that's your challenge, to be willing to look foolish, to be willing to hear your inspiration, to go into the forest in an unknown place in an unknown way, and to live your life in truth in a place that is not uh, the normal for you. So you're called to something different. You're called to something unique. You're called to your own authenticity, but you seem unwilling to do it this year on some level. And maybe this is one point, maybe this is multiple points of not wanting to look like a fool, not wanting to use your passion in an inappropriate way. Maybe it's the fear of if you don't stay with your family or stay with your society or stay with the thing that gives you money, that you're going to lose all those things. Maybe that is the truth, but maybe that is also a reality that needs to be faced, because it's not always so cut and dried. If you're called to find yourself, you can't forget yourself. You can't lose yourself to the needs of everybody around you and not value yourself enough to Go after something that your soul is crying for, that your passion is crying for, that your will is calling you to do, and needs you to do in order for you to be truthful with yourself and honest with yourself and fulfilled in yourself. There's something calling you. That forest is calling you. That finding of your wild side is calling you. And wild, I don't mean by doing taboo things. Wild, I just mean fulfilling something that your vibrancy calls for, that your emotions call for, that your heart calls for, that your spirit calls you to do, that doesn't look the same as what everybody else is doing, doesn't look the same as what most people do, and might not look the same as what people think you should be doing. So it's got that twinge of otherness, and we all have to find our authenticity in order to be true to our souls. So what is the action you can take? Well, it's Dragonfly. And Dragonfly says, well, you have to go through the portal of your dreams. You have to go through the portal of all the illusions that stop you. And Dragonfly is about illusions, about looking at the things that block us from believing we can be something different than they choose to be. It's about removing the illusions that say we are not worthy, or we are not gifted, or we are not talented, or we don't have enough friends, or we don't have enough love, or we can't do that thing because that might say that we can't be in this society anymore, or this club anymore, or this family anymore. And those are illusions that often stop us, and they're not the truth. They have to be gone through. You have to go through and dispel each one of those illusions, and learn that it's a much bigger, broader, more complex, but also more supportive world. If you're following your heart and you're following your dream and you feel good about yourself, who wouldn't want you to do that? And it's only people who are afraid in themselves who might be blocking you from finding your own truth about yourself. So to love yourself, to find your forest, to get out of your mind and find your forest of your soul, you might have to look foolish, and you should jump into that foolishness, I think, this year in at least small ways. Break down some old divisions, break down some old illusions, stir the pot a little bit, to test the waters a little bit. Go into the woods that you don't know the path in a little bit. Go in a little ways. Let yourself get a little lost. Let yourself find some fairies who talk to you. Let yourself listen to the wind that speaks to you. Let yourself have the forest in your soul come out and speak to you. It can calm you. It can excite you. It can help you to feel alive again. And all of that is about stirring your own pot of consciousness, becoming rooted in the remembrance that you're a physical being that needs a physical response to your environment. Finding an environment that really supports your physical soul is also finding an environment that supports your emotional soul, your intuitional soul, and your psychic soul. This groundedness enables the ability to use one's intuition, one's compassion, one's visioning, one's sense of will, needs one to look foolish in this world, because that's not what we're taught. That's not how we're taught to get ahead. But this is not about getting ahead. This is about getting back to yourself so that you can feel good in yourself. You can feel authentic in yourself. You can feel like you're living your truth in yourself, and it can't be bound by the restrictions of others. And keep breaking restrictions this year. That's all the thing that you can do. Keep wandering into the woods, whatever that means. Keep breaking down and being willing to look a little bit more like a fool and a little more like a fool, and pretty soon people will understand that you need to do your own thing and be your own authentic self in order for you to be the most loving to yourself and the loving to them as well. So it's a win-win if everybody would let you win-win, including yourself. Let yourself win-win and find that magical soul that can go into the woods this year. Aho Mitakuye Oyasin.